the Madras High Court has allowed the producer of Jana Nayagan to withdraw its plea against the Central Board of Film Certification. The petition had challenged objections raised by the CBFC over the film certification. With the plea withdrawn, the case now stands closed, clearing the way for the producer to explore other legal or regulatory options. The KVN Production had approached the Madras High Court seeking to withdraw its petition filed against the Central Board of Film Certification in a move aimed at speeding up the film release. Sources say the producers have now chosen to submit Jana Nayagan before the CBFC's Revising Committee, hoping for an early clearance and to avoid further delays. The film, originally slated for a January 9 release, was postponed after certification issues cropped up. Earlier, the CBFC's Examination Committee had reportedly recommended certification, but the film was later referred to the Revising Committee by the CBFC chairman following objections from a committee member. Viewers, that decision led the producers to move court, where the court saw multiple hearings, including a stay by a division bench on an earlier order favoring the makers. With legal proceedings prolonging the process, the producers have now opted for the official censor route, signaling a shift in the strategy to secure certification at the earliest. A revised release date is now expected once the Revising Committee completes its review. Viewers, I am being joined by my colleague Thoya Zakshi. Thoya, it's a big development coming regarding the movie Jana Nayagan, with the legal proceedings prolonging the process. Now the producers have opted for the official center route. Thoya.
Yes, Sabya, KVN Productions has withdrawn with its right petition at the Madras High Court against the CBFC in a move aimed to expanding the release of actors Vijay, actor turned politician Vijay's most anticipated film Jana Nayagan, which Justice P.T. Asha has permitted the withdrawal, effectively clearing the way for the CBFC to proceed with referring the film to its Revising Committee to determine its certificate for a public exhibition that comes under U or UA or A categories. Now the producers opted for its route to avoid this kind of prolonged legal proceedings and secured clearance at the earliest, after where the film was planned to actually release for the Pongal this year, that is on the January 9th, which was delayed over the censor issues. But now that earlier the CBFC's also Examination Committee had recommended a certification, but the chairman referred the film to the Revising Committee. But the following objections raised by the member of the CBFC, prompting the producers to move to the court, where the case also witnessed several twists, including an earlier order which was passed by the single judge, directing the certification, to give the certification to the KVN Production. That is the same judge who also gave an order today as well. That's P.T. Asha, where a subsequent stay by the division bench seeking more time for the CBFC's response and referral back to the single judge before the producers ultimately decide to focus on completing this revising process, this whole revising process, while keeping their legal options open. But now the KVN Productions has withdrawn their right petition and made even more easier for the censor board to again revise the movie and see what are the cuts and everything to be made, and make sure, and it is expected that the movie might release in the month of March. So we'll have to wait and see when the CBFC will issue the certificate to KVN Productions, and when the KVN Production will announce the next release date of Jana Nayagan movie. So we'll have to wait and see, Sapya.
Well, Thoya, for viewers, what was the earlier objection that was raised by the CBFC regarding giving certification to the Jana Nayagan movie, if you can tell to the viewers?
Earlier there were several objections, in the film of Jana Nayagan, where the CBFC had already made several cuts in this film, which, where actually the main cuts were made, which the scenes which were related to the religious sentiment, and also there were scenes where the defense symbols were, used in this movie, and those scenes were also removed from this movie. And and also similarly, when we talk about Parashakti as well, Parashakti movie also went into the similar situation where they also had like almost 23 to 25 cuts in the film. Only after that the CBFC gave issued the censor certificate for that movie as well. But here when we are talking, there are several cuts that was made in this movie. And the chairman of CBFC, as also as said the KVN Productions, that there were several scenes, which were hurting the religious sentiments. So that kind of film scenes were also being removed, and there were more than 20 cuts, more than 20 to 27 cuts were made. So now that since the chairman of CBFC prompted with statements that triggered the KVN Productions to go file the petition against the CBFC. But now that under the Chief Justice P.T. Asha, now that KVN Production has withdrawn the petition, and have made it very easy for the CBFC to revise the film again and make sure the issue the certificate as soon as possible for the release, Sabya.
Well, thank you, Thoya, for your inputs. And viewers, the Jana Nayagan movie has been sent to the CBFC once again for revising.